Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, Childhood Finds. Thank you so much for joining me for my weekly What Sold video. Fair warning, I have been avoiding this What Sold video for an extra day or so because it's pretty pitiful. I am not gonna lie. This has been probably one of the worst weeks I've had, besides the time I had to take off for personal reasons earlier this year since I became a full-time reseller. Probably one of the worst. But it's not all bad, guys. What I wanted to give you the positives, this week I am 36 hours or roughly into this week on Tuesday. I have already doubled what I made last week. That is the roller coaster of eBay. It goes up and down. That's why you can't always guarantee what you're gonna be making, but you just have to be smart on your really good weeks so that you can make it through the bad weeks. So the what sold after this one will be pretty good. Hopefully it continues to be really good so I can share it with you. But this one's just gonna be a very basic bread and butter kind of video, I think is what we're gonna see it as. And the other things that I'd like to point out that do help me stay positive during this, I've talked about them before, but I will go into my seller hub on eBay and I will look at how I was doing the previous year at this time. So year to date, when I compare it to the same time last year, I'm up, I believe, 18%. So that to me is amazing because I also took off 6 weeks. I mean, didn't completely take them off, but I was minimal work those 6 weeks. So I think that's amazing. That makes me feel good. I'm also up, I mean, just compared to the same month last year, I'm up 30%. So I see it as a positive. It just, some weeks are worse than others, and you do have to look at the bigger picture. I've talked about it before. Look at the bigger picture because that's really what's going to tell you how you're doing. So let's get started on these what sold, guys. It's going to be a pretty quick video, and I will definitely work. I just want to let you know I have been putting a lot of my effort into my dog's channel, my dog's YouTube channel, because, well, I'm that person now. And I will continue to try to put more effort into this channel. I've just been trying to find my life balance, and I've been working on trying to find a way to get the other channel monetized as well. So that's what's been taking up some of my time. But in the next couple weeks, I will work on getting some more research videos out and try to think of some other videos to share with you guys. So please continue to join me, and let's get started on some sales. Okay, we're starting off with a doozy of a sale here. It is a vintage bicentennial Spirit of 76 washable plastic tablecloth. It is vintage. It sold for $7.50. I got this at the huge estate sales that I went to last year, so it has been listed quite a long time, but it is getting close to 4th of July, so of course this is a good time for it to sell. I probably have 50 cents or so into it, and I'm fine with this return, really. Here is some National Stainless Japan Malta dinner forks, lot of 5. Took a best offer of $25 on these, have $1 into them roughly. And if you hear snoring, I have both dogs on the separate couches here. I'm just gonna turn and show you. Let's see, there's one and there's the other one sleeping. They are both passed out. We had a nice walk today, so if you hear snoring, that is them. This one is a miniature dollhouse drop leaf table mahogany color wood. It's just, when I see little dollhouse furniture, I do pick it up when it is affordable. So this I probably have 50 cents into, and it sold for a best offer of $15. Totally fine with that. It did take probably 6 to 8 months to sell though. These I've shown before in solds. I picked up a stack of these, and they're just another lot of them sold on eBay. Budweiser King of Beers bandana, lot of 2, sold for $10.95. Have maybe 10 cents roughly into each of these, if that. Here is some Torrid Sky High Skinny Jeans Women's Tall Blue Premium Stretch Denim, sold for a best offer of $15. I pick up Torrid when I see it for really cheap. It always tends to sell. These pants probably took, it's probably been 4 or 5 months, but that's totally fine. They always sell for me. This is a yellow Fenton art glass bell with sticker 6 inches. This took a very long time to sell. It's probably been with me for a few years now and gone through a few moves, but it sold for a best offer of, I think, $12, and I got it for $1 at a yard sale. This I showed in a recent haul video. It's an antique deep well walnut wood frame, gold gilt inner rim. Sold for a best offer of $23.25, I believe. And it was a very petite one. As you can see, it was roughly a 4x6 frame. And it's from, you know, the late 1800s, early 1900s. And I picked it up for $3 at a yard sale. This is an Interper faux brown wood canoe, mid-century modern, stainless flatware, 8 teaspoons. Sold for the full asking price of $19.95. I picked this up with a stack of other ones like this at a thrift store and paid 20 cents a piece, so about $1.60 into this lot, and they sold within a few weeks. These I picked up at a yard sale have less than $1 each into them, and it's Barbie 1999 hat box and Queen of the Prom keychain Mattel 1999 new lot of 2, sold for the full asking of $21.95 and just took a month or 2 to sell. This, I can't quite remember where I picked this up, but I feel like I paid $1 for it. And it's an Island of Misfits Toys Rudolph Jimmy animated holiday works. I just took a best offer of $20 for it to get it moving because it is large and it wasn't in perfect condition, so I was totally happy with the $20 for it. This I picked up at a Salvation Army for 50 cents, and it's a Chosen white blue bunny rabbit 7-inch plush stuffed animal floral bonnet vintage, and I really do like Chosen. I've sold quite a few of those plush for decent money. This I picked up at an estate sale last year for $1, and I picked it up because it was new in the package. No other reason. It's a Aero Brigade fitted long sleeve dress shirt, men's button up, and it was brand new in the bag. Sold for $17.95. This is an Old World Christmas. I've talked about those in some recent videos, that Old World Christmas is definitely a brand to look up. And it's a Mountain Blue Jay clip-on dark blue crested read as is. It had a fair amount of paint loss on the bill. And, okay, you guys have to watch my bloodhound sleeping. Sorry, interlude, you're getting my dogs today. And so it did have a fair amount of paint loss on it, and it definitely, you can tell, it wasn't just little bits, but it still sold for $25, the full asking. This came out of my tote. If you watched my previous videos, I bought a tote of glass ornaments at an estate sale, and I got a $250 Radco out of it, and then a couple other decent value $20, $25 ornaments out of it, so absolutely worth the gamble. I am very happy with that return. Here's a Lamac Spooky Town Lion and Caveman Trick or Treat figurine from 2003. I paid 50 cents to $1, I think somewhere around there, at a thrift store last year, right before Halloween. And this one sold for, I believe, a best offer of $18 or so. And I got, I think, 18 to 20 pieces of Lamacs before Halloween time. And I just had a couple that didn't get sold during Halloween that have straggled with me, or, you know, have stuck around with me since then. But still happy with the sale. It did take, you know, 7 to 8 months, but it's tiny. This is a Piatnik Vintage Golf Double Deck Playing Cards, sealed new, made in Austria. And it sold for the full asking of $9.95. I picked these up at an estate sale for $1. This I just picked up in a recent haul video, and it's a vintage Emmons Scarecrow Brooch Pen Gold Tone and Faux Pearl. I have less than 50 cents into this, and it sold for my sale price of $13.16. So that is one thing that I have talked about before, guys. I tend to price my items pretty fairly on everything that I can, and I do my best to continue to do that so that things sell relatively quickly. But when I have really bad sales going on, I will start a discount. So I tend to only use this kind of sale when I'm looking to get some more inventory out, like when I was moving during holiday season to really get things flowing, and also when I'm having really bad weeks. And this was one of those weeks. So I did a 12% off sale on 98% of my store. The only things I didn't do the sale on were just very, very recently listed stuff. So stuff I'd listed within the last couple days. I didn't do those, but everything else I just did it. And it definitely helped. I had a lot of lower sales, but it was worth it. It added up, you know, it helps that little extra bit. So those are the times that I use sales. And this sold for the $13.16. Then this also sold on the sale. It's an Angry Birds green pig plush, Good Stuff Toys Commonwealth. And it said on the tag, not for retail sale, so I just put that in the title. I don't know if it helped, but it sold for $17.56. I tend to always pick up Angry Birds stuff when I see it and it's in really good condition and it's very cheap. I always sell it. This I got at an estate sale. I believe it was very early this year or last year, and it's a 1956 Oldsmobile shop manual spiral bound General Motors. I've started really picking up these kind of car manual things probably the last few months. I picked up a lot of Chilton, a lot of these kind of things, and some of them don't sell for big money, but they do have a market. This sold for $34 and it's going to Germany. And I paid $1 for this at the estate sale. So I've been picking up a lot of these car manuals because they do sell and some of them can be worth some big bucks. This is an American Revolution 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle by White Mountain, sold for $30 on Poshmark. I paid, I believe, $2 to $3 for this at a yard sale. If you haven't watched my White Mountain puzzle video, you should. I will link that down in the description. It's pretty impressive what some White Mountain puzzles will go for. I personally have sold one for $150 that I got for $2 roughly at a Salvation Army. So absolutely worth looking at White Mountain. And this sold on Poshmark. This had been listed a few years. It's a Fisher-Price Disney Tigger Stuffed Animal 2005, sold for $15. I am fine with long tail sales. We all want the quick sales, but you know what? Long tail is what keeps me in business. This is an Animal Adventure Dinosaur Plush 12-inch stuffed animal, sold for $10 on Poshmark. I know it's not a huge profit, but I factor in, I think I paid $1 for this. I make $7.05 off of Poshmark after fees. Their fees are quite a bit for sales under $15, but I still make $6.05 because I just use free Poshmark box, or I use free priority mail boxes to package this stuff. So it's not a huge profit by any means, but it's an easy profit. This I just picked up with the Scarecrow brooch at the same sale, so less than 50 cents into this piece as well. And it's a gold tone faux pearl rhinestone Florenza sign jewelry trinket pill box. Anytime I see something marked Florenza, I pick it up. And then one last sale. This is a 1993 Charlie Horse plush puppet toy Sherry Lewis lamb chop stuffed animal vintage. These guys are kind of creepy. I picked up Charlie Horse and now it's gonna completely Hush Puppy. There it is. And I looked in the store because I found Hush Puppy and Charlie Horse and I'm like, lamb chop has to be here. So I looked all over that Salvation Army, but someone probably already picked up lamb chop or he didn't get donated. But this sold for $20 and I paid $2.99 for him at the thrift store. So guys, that's it. It's a short video. Thank you so much for joining me. I promise in the next couple weeks I am going to get some more videos that will be beneficial for you guys out. Please share in the comments. Tell me how your sales are going, or share with me one of your favorite sales from the last few weeks or a favorite item that you have found. As always, guys, it doesn't need to be the most valuable, just something you enjoy. And that's, you know, part of why we do this, is just finding things that we love that may not be super valuable, but we love finding them. So share that with me in the comments, and then I'll see you guys on the next video.